Good morning, everyone joining. We're waiting a little bit for more people to get here, but we're about to start. So just give me a few seconds. Hello, good morning, all Degans. How are you? This is another Twitter space from DEGA. We're happy to be here. It's our second day of the ISPO. And here with us is Carlos, our CEO and founder, to talk about the things happening, what's coming, what happened, what's building, and everything around DEGA. Carlos, good morning. How's the day looking for you?
Hey there, Freak. Another beautiful and exciting day here at DEGA. It's been a crazy ride, right? It's only been one day, so looking forward to the rest.
Yeah, yesterday was insane. It was like really exciting. One of the things I loved the most was the community. Community helping community. That's strive. That's what we strive for. So it was beautiful also to watch it. So
Yep.
coming up today, Carlos, while you get settled, I think our topic needs to remain the same: is the IFPO and the premium pass.
Yes. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
It's a lot to touch, so it's fine to revisit it today. And tomorrow we'll take a break, as then Thursday we have a special guest, which we will be announcing later on in this space.
Oh yeah, I'm dying for that moment. But meanwhile, so before we start, everyone in here, if you have questions, comments, congratulations, or whatever you want to say to us, please leave it in the comments of the space. We will be answering as many questions as we can and the ones we have answers for. But so going into the topics of today, we have to do this every day. A little bit short explanation of what the ISPO is and what the pre-mint pass is. So, Carlos, if you can give us that.
Yeah, happy to do so. And again, for everybody that's part of the Cardano ecosystem, we know that you know this, right? But we always have a few new members, right? There's been a lot of people commenting on Discord and on Telegram that they're even new to crypto, not even just new to Cardano or DEGA, they're new to crypto. So it's always important to be able to set, let's say, a good basis, right, for them. So basically, an ISPO is when we set up a validator node, right? Like any proof of stake system, you need to set up a node to validate the blocks for a blockchain. But instead of using proof of work, you have proof of stake, right? And part of this is you stake or set your ADA to be able to have a vote in the system, right? And then other people that don't want to set up a node, they delegate to you so that now you have their voting power, right? So you validate more blocks, you get more ADA rewards that are then normally distributed by, between the validator and the delegator. So with an ISPO, the validator just keeps all of the new ADA minted, all of the rewards, and instead of handing out ADA, we hand out our own token, which is the DEGA token, so that you as a delegator can retain your ADA, keep that safe, while still getting exposure to new and exciting projects. So that's essentially what an ISPO is. Funny enough, it is very well known in the Cardano world, and literally nobody outside the Cardano world knows what it is. So it's something that we're going to be doing in DEGA, is bringing this concept to other ecosystems as well, right? So that everybody can benefit from a good idea. And then there's the premium pass, which is, conventionally you have a premium pass means that you have a ticket or a voucher or a right to be able to access NFTs. Usually other projects, they sometimes they sell you the premium pass and then you have to pay on top of that. For us, that's not the case. The premium pass is as good as the NFT. You will get your NFT. You won't need to pay us extra. You'll probably need to pay the gas fee, right, for minting it in the blockchains. But we won't be charging you anything more, right? So you have your premium pass. The first pass you mint, or let's say the first pass you reveal for your address, will become an avatar tied to that address, right? I mean, obviously you can transfer it, right? It's an NFT, But if you keep revealing more NFTs for that address, the next reveals will be kaijus, right? And both your avatar and your kaijus will be used to engage in the gameplay that we're going to be releasing with DEGA, with our partners. And they also have effects on top of the actual blockchain usage. So, for example, right, as you all know, you can, I just explained, you can stake your ADA to validate the network and receive rewards, right? So with DEGA, we're going to have that as well, right? DEGA is a protocol. It's a protocol that lives what you would normally call layer zero. It's not exactly that, but we call it the meta layer, right? And you can read about that in the white paper on the website. So when we set up the DEGA network, right, and you're doing delegations and validators there, your DEGA NFT will have an impact on the yield you generate, right? It'll be a yield multiplier for DEGA. So that's kind of like where we're at right now, in terms of these two things, right? The ISPO, the pre-mint pass. Later on, you'll mint that as NFTs, and they will have an impact on the yield that you will generate with your own DEGA tokens later on.
So right now, what we're doing is a premium pass to get the bonus. Just to make it
Yes,
clear,
yes.
just to get the bonus, and
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, you're right. I forgot to mention that. So even though you're not minting the NFT yet, right, you're getting a pass. The bonus already applies, right? And basically, with the address that you bought your premium pass, you're getting that bonus in the ISPO. If you use the wrong address, right? Let's say you're delegating with one and then you used another address to do the minting, no problem. You can do one of two things, right? You can either mint another one, which is it's really cheap. It's like 37 ADA. So not a problem. That's one thing. Or the other one is we'll be adding a feature for you to be able to change what address the bonus is going to, right? So that you'll be able to say, okay, this premium pass is going to give the bonus to this address. So you could even give bonuses to your friends, right? If you wanted to support them. As you all know, in DEGA, everything is, revolves around the tribes. So we'll make sure that you can even support your other tribe members if you want to. Additionally to that,
ooh,
yeah, that'll be a nice feature, right?
you just sparked my imagination to do like tribal contests, like where we get a bunch of premium passes and we give away like 5% bonuses within the tribe.
Yeah, the tribes could start doing that once we release this feature, right? So you could say, well, if you join our tribe, we're gonna sponsor you premium pass, right? Something like that.
Wow,
Um, yeah,
nice.
everything in Dega is about collaboration and integrating the social dynamics, right? And for by popular request, we are going to add as well a feature for you to be able to buy several premium pass in one go, right? So you don't have to buy them one by one. So yeah, those are the two new features that are coming.
One of the main questions, or one of the conversations yesterday about the premium pass, and I did this video, and it took me less than a minute to do the pre-mint, to do the whole process in Telegram. And people were asking, why Telegram? Why did you start it there?
Yeah,
But it was so easy to just have like a chat interface. But why did you do it like that?
yeah. I mean, it's a send transaction, right? It's the simplest thing that you could possibly do with a crypto wallet. There's nothing simpler to do with a crypto wallet than send money somewhere, right? So that's kind of one of the reasons we didn't want to exclude anybody from being able to access this. So chat interfaces is what Data is going to be all about, at least right now on our side, right? Like our partners are going to be building more sophisticated systems, right? Like 3D systems and gameplay. At Dega, we are all about reaching as many people as we can. So everything is about accessing it through chat. Now, having said that, I know that not literally everybody in the planet has Telegram, right? But we will be adding support for Discord next, just because the crypto people are in Telegram or Discord, and then we will be adding support in WhatsApp for the normies, right? Um, and I'm gonna throw a little spoiler here that only you know about, Alejo. Actually, nobody else knows about this. But we're in conversations right now with some of the largest gaming streamers in the Latin American region to onboard them into the DEGA ecosystem because they want to start building their own tribes, their own brands, their own esports teams. They want to start working with us to be able to have their NFTs, to be able to monetize everything that they're doing. So for them, for example, WhatsApp would be like the gateway, right? So this is just like a very, very early spoiler because this is something that we're working with them as we speak right now. But it's worth mentioning that why we're doing chat, right?
I think for me chat is the easiest way to onboard my mom, you know. That's how I think it. If I can onboard my mom, I can onboard anyone. So so it's always okay. Where does my mom live? She's in WhatsApp. She can text it and chat interface. And I lived it because that was the way that she engaged with ChatGPT. I created a WhatsApp bot for ChatGPT to be able to answer my mom and my dad, and they use it. They actually use it in WhatsApp. So I think that is really smart, Carlos, to go that way. And that changes in the UX UI in live right now is changing to something as easy as to talk about it,
Yeah.
so
No, we will
I
be, but we already had like a test version of using large language models integrated with the DECA system. They work pretty good, right? At the end of the day, API is just another form of language, right? Making a web service call is just another way of structuring language. So we will be also providing, very sophisticated AI-based systems to help you and guide you with the DEGA feature set, right? So in the future, your customer support will be the AI itself, right? It'll tell you like, hey, this is how you would go about using this feature or this API. This is what you're missing. Even give you advice in terms of be careful with this. Make sure to always double check the send address, whatever, right? So yeah, chat is definitely going to be a powerful way to target and onboard people. And that's why we want to start working on that, right? And I completely understand, for example, that some crypto people, you're used to a given experience, and we're like kind of like throwing you a different experience. So it is natural to feel that friction, right? You're gonna say, well, why is this different, right? Why is it harder? It's just harder because it's different the first time you're doing it, right? And you're just used to going and doing, you automated it in your head, right? Like when you do 12 clicks, but you're used to those 12 clicks. So you think that that's the easy version, right? Versus coming over here and doing it with 1 or 2 clicks, but you've never done it, right? So you feel like there's this disconnect, right, in UX. But it's all about thinking about the future, right? We're trying to make sure that we can make systems that everybody on the planet can access.
and that connects with another of the things that I was thinking, or in questions and conversation that come out of the community, and is how DEGA, because doing an ISPO on Cardano, you're looking also to generate value to Cardano. And DEGA is not only adding value to Cardano, it's adding value to the partners, to Cornucopias, to Mel, to Wi-Fi, to everyone we connect with. But how do you see this value, this cross value generation that you're creating with the protocol and with the partnerships?
So each partner, it has its own different, let's say, benefit, right? They're very different companies, right? Now there's a DeFi company, Cornucopias, is Web3 gaming, and then we have Wi-Fi, which is DEX and liquidity aggregation, right? But everything in blockchain or in crypto world, it's about being interconnected, right? It's all network effects upon network effects, right? So for us, for example, in the layer two, we're building in partnership with Cornucopias, right? For them, it's an advantage in terms of being able to have, cheaper transaction fees and to be able to use the DEGA API that will allow the development of certain features to be easier, right? And we're doing this in tandem with them. Like we get feedback from the features that we provide. They tell us, this is really a priority for us, so we go and prioritize that instead of some other features. So it's kind of like, setting up a standard for Web3 gaming, right, in the layer two. And our API is something that you can call from any programming language, right? You don't need to use any, for example, you don't need to use Plutus or Haskell. You can just use normal JavaScript because all the components are pre-built, ready to go. So that opens up the Cardano world to more developers, right? So now we can target all the JavaScript developers and have them build on top of Cardano. That's one thing, right? Then with Meld, Ken, as many of you know here, he's done the most successful ISPO ever, over $1 billion delegated. So with him, we've always had this conversation about how powerful ISPOs are and how they can be very innovative, particularly for emerging markets. So a lot of people, like for those of you here that are, have never been to countries of, emerging markets like Latin America, Southeast Asia, the Middle East. However, you think that your banking system is bad, ours is orders of magnitude worse, right? Like it's exponentially worse.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you're in the USA or in Europe and you think your banks are bad, my friend, come to Honduras or come to, Colombia and see what really, what a really bad service looks like, right? And I'm not even talking about some other countries which have it even worse, right?
Suffer it.
Yeah, man, it's the next level. So if we can't even get like basic banking services, talking about fundraising, venture capital, that's non-existent in many countries, right? Actually, Colombia is actually doing well now on that note, but many countries are not, right? So accessing something like credit, capital, investment, all of that is it's a dream, right? People just can't access it. So ISPOs are a great way because all they need, again, is just a mobile phone, right? And this is why, again, it's important for DEGA to be able to provide this tooling via chat, right? We want you to be able to create your own DEGA tribe, to be able to set up your own ISPO for yourself, right? Everything from your mobile phone, right? So when you can do this, now you can reach the world, right? And you can capitalize and start providing your creativity and your innovation to the entire, digital economy. So that's something that me and Ken have always been discussing. So they're going to integrate all of the multiple types of ISPOs that we're going to be building, Cardano, Ethereum, Polygon, and other chains in the future. They're going to integrate that into the Meld wallet, right? So that's kind of like the relationship with them. And then with Buy Finance, it's pretty straightforward. Just like any ecosystem, we're going to need to access liquidity. So they're working on being able to provide that cross-chain or cross-layer, let's say, liquidity, right, from mainnet to the layer 2 and so forth. So yeah, so it's very kind of like different with each partner. But as you can see, it all comes together, right? Like you can't have one without the other. I can't just say, like in blockchain, I can't say, oh, I just want to make, the API for games. Okay, but if there's no liquidity, people can't access that game, at least not through blockchain technology, right? And if there's no ISPOs, then how am I going to onboard people in emerging markets, right? And so forth. So that's why it's relevant to make this like an ecosystem, right? Like you hear that word a lot in crypto, ecosystem. It's because that's what's needed to be able to achieve these network effects, right? Ecosystem is what defines the success for Cardano itself, for Ethereum, right? For Bitcoin. If there's just one dude making one API, you're not going to go anywhere.
I love what you're saying because it's kind of like the concept of tribes taken to a whole different level. It's system thinking. It's needed for what it's coming, for the big change and onboarding the next 2 billion people. It will be through this type of tools that are easy to access. You just said a $40 smartphone, and you can get in and you can participate, but you need the network of partners and need the network of people inside the tribes.
Exactly.
So to go into the next topic is how do you see the DEGA token working in this whole world that you're creating, in this whole system that you're creating with tools, partners, and all?
So, and I know some of you have joined us multiple days, but it's always, again, important for us to lay out the basics, right, for the new people joining the conversation. The DEGA token, we can look at it like from two ways, right? Like the first way, purely technological and infrastructure, right? So what we do there is just work in the same way that ADA works on Cardano, or the same way that Ethereum works, that ETH works on Ethereum, right? You used to pay block transaction fees, and the difference is that ours is deflationary, just like Ethereum, right? When you pay the fees, it goes to burn DEGA, so that means that there's a deflationary pressure on the system, which benefits all of the current holders, right? Now, somebody might say, well, what if the fees get too expensive? And that's where we innovated, right? Because we didn't copy exactly the model that Ethereum does. We kind of got inspired by it. So instead of having to make the only way for deflationary pressure to exist be burning fees, we actually don't want the block fees to be expensive. We want them to be dirt cheap. That way we can keep onboarding more people and more applications, right? And we can scale horizontally. That's why DEGA is a multi-layer 2 system, right? And eventually, when the need arises, which is not the case today, but when the need arises to have layer 3s, that'll be built into the protocol as well. And it'll be transparent, by the way. You won't even know if you're on a layer 2, a layer 3, whatever. You're just using the system and it works. So then where does this, deflationary pressure come from? Well, we're adding the fees for DEGA on all of the modules that we're building as well, right? So we provide white label NFT marketplaces, white label DEX swap, white label minters, a whole bunch of components and services that people need to build out their games, so that the economic activity that grows on top of your system benefits the DEGA token holder, right? Instead of having to compete, because right now you could say that, for example, in Ethereum, the interest of the people that want, deflation on Ethereum is against the interest of the people that want scalability on Ethereum, right? So we kind of eliminated that friction. So you can still have scalability and benefit the people that are the token holders by creating this deflationary pressure that comes from fees from NFT marketplaces, royalties on the NFTs, secondary markets. All of those things are going to accrue value to the DEGA token, right? So that's kind of like what it is from an infrastructure perspective. Now, from an economic perspective, DEGA has basically it's like an in-game currency. You can use it for all of the ecosystem we're building, for the ecosystem that our partners are going to be building with as well when they decide to integrate it. Obviously, that's optional, and that'll be up to each partner to decide when. And then for the people that build directly on top of DEGA, right? Just like people are building on top of Cardano, on top of Ethereum. For anybody building on our layer 2s, they can integrate DEGA, and that'll connect them to the network, let's say to the network economy of multiple gaming systems, right? So it's like a cross-game, in-game currency in that sense, right? So you can look at a technology and infrastructure, which I explained, and then this other in-game currency economy.
That is going to be amazing. And you know me, I cannot wait to start building in the DEGA world. I'm already doing it. I have secret plans that I haven't told anyone. But it's looking at that future. But I gotta jump to the now, because we gotta talk to the community and the people in here. So please, if anyone has questions, it needs help with something, wants to clarify about a concept, or just want to say, yeah, let's go, comment in this space and attract people to it, because we're giving valuable information and we want more people here, but we also want to answer your questions. And going back to that, Carlos, I want to talk a little bit about the dashboard. The dashboard was released yesterday, and it gives you information. How does it work? What do I see there? What it's like, what, when do I start seeing my rewards and all of it?
So yeah, the dashboard, it's already functional there. You can see your rewards right now, but we just kind of started, so a lot of people haven't received rewards yet, because some of the only ones that have gotten rewards are the ones that found the stake pool by themselves before we even shared it and started delegating. So because it was like last Monday, right? Like last Monday we said, hey, we're gonna do an ISPO, and some people just found the stake pool and started delegating. So they got a few rewards. It's just a few people, in case somebody here is FOMOing, okay? And the reason for us to have the stake pool up and ready is because you need at least two epochs before you can, have your stake pool ready for execution, right? So if we wanted to have it open today, we had to start doing, you know, start setting up the validators a few weeks ago. So yeah, the dashboard is there. You can just input your address and it'll show you what your rewards are. And at the bottom, you can see the total number of ADA that's delegated, the active stake. Which, by the way, we're about to cross 16 million. Right? I just saw it like 30 minutes ago, and it was 15.8 million ADA delegated. Not bad, considering it's the second day with the dashboard online. So yeah, that's where you could go and see. And by the way, in case somebody sees a different number in our ADA, total ADA delegated from the one you're seeing in the C Explorer, the reason for that is because I think their refresh rate is a little bit slower. Like they, refresh that data every X period of time, while we're getting it live, right? We're using the Bitfrogs API to get that information live in real time. So we usually get the latest amount. But yeah, basically you can see your rewards per address. You just have a text box, you put in your address, you click add, and that'll be saved in your browser's local storage. So when you refresh, it'll be there. So you can track multiple addresses there, right? And then again, below, you can see the entire numbers of the ISPO. And
I'm gonna share the dashboard address in the tweet.
yeah, it's dashboard.dega.org. But yeah.
Yeah, I just tweeted it. I just tweeted it for people that haven't been there, haven't visited. Just take a look at it. At 15.8 million, dude, that's incredible. I gotta ask the personal question. I gotta ask, how are you feeling? I like seeing this. You already surpassed many other ISPOs.
I mean, yeah, no, it is a pleasant surprise, I have to say, right? Like we're in a tough market. It's been, a year of bad news, one after another, due to sadly, the bad actors that take advantage of our great industry. Because I truly do love this industry, right? But there's always some people there taking advantage. So obviously sooner or later they collapse. The problem is that they affected a lot of people, sadly, right? I was lucky enough to not be involved at all with any of those actors, right? Which allowed DEGA to continue working and building. I know some projects who were even indirectly affected by them, like they were using an API, and that API was funded by FTX, right, or Celsius or whatever. And then since those guys collapsed, the API is no longer available, and now their systems don't work. So, yeah, so sad to see that for some people. So, having said that, again, it's a very pleasant surprise to get the support of the community. I think that this is what makes ISPOs great, right? Because it's like you're not asking people, hey, go and get rid of your ADA, right? Which is something that if you're part of a Cardano ecosystem, the ADA is kind of like the fuel of that ecosystem. So you don't wanna lose that, right? And certainly not in the bear market, right? So the ISPOs give like a window of opportunity for both us, the project, and the holders of ADA to continue building, to continue showing and signaling their support for the projects that they love without risking their principal capital, right? So again, I think that this is just one of the great things about these mechanisms, and that's why we're also going to bring them to other ecosystems so they can also take advantage of great ideas.
Dude, I gotta be honest with my feelings here for this, because one of the things that, after coming from successful projects that hit the bear market and died and were like really nice project, it was an emotional ride also, not just economical. it was
Oh yeah.
it was a hit on all of us.
Oh yeah.
And when you came with Dega, even though it was a bear market, it just, dude, everything was in place. Like, awesome team, incredible vision, fast, impeccable execution. It had every element that you're looking in a project that it will be a game changer. and you checked every fucking mark. And even though it was a bear market, you know that good, strong projects are, how do you say, like immune to bears and immune to all those things. Like you might get hit on the side, but you won't
Yeah.
crash if you're strong. So
Yeah, it is a lot more work, right? Because everybody's like with a bad mood. But yeah, we obviously we wouldn't let this stop us, right? When you have a vision about something that's so important to see realized in the world, you just can't help but to keep working on it, right? And our vision is to empower billions to project their creativity in the digital economy, right? We're going to do this by building open tools, systems that anybody can access anywhere, regardless. So, yeah, we need to make this a reality, and we're going to, and that's why that's what also motivated these great partnerships to join us, right? That's why Mel, Cornucopias, Wi-Fi, Bricken are on our side, and we definitely see a future in which we grow together, right? So, hey, there's a few more partnerships coming up in the next few weeks. I'm sure you'll all be very excited to see who we're onboarding. Oh, there's a
dude,
question there from our friend Easy on the comments. He's asking, what are some of the
you want to jump to the questions now?
we can do one and off, because that way we don't leave them all at the end. So TC is
Okay,
asking,
perfect.
what are some of the benefits of kaijus? And say my hero becomes a supernova, will my kaijus be supernovas also? So
Love that.
yeah, so we've only discussed, the benefits of the heroes so far. I don't like to discuss subject unless we've already published the article, because that's kind of like a reference to where you can look at it. What I can give you right now is a spoiler that they'll in the gameplay. Obviously, they will buff your avatar, right? They will, and vice versa, right? You're a team, so in the gameplay, it'll have advantages in terms of battling skills. All the systems that we're designing is what you would call a horizontal power system. For anybody that wants to like Google that, it's not a vertical power system; it's more of a horizontal power system. So the kaijus are kind of like support in your gameplay. In terms of the economic benefits, that is something that you will have to wait for us to publish the article to see. But for now, I can say that it's only your hero that's supernova for now, right? But we'll discuss this in detail when we publish the article.
Okay, I do want to see my kaijus. Like I'm excited about my hero, but for some reason I'm more excited about my kaijus. I don't know why, but knowing the art that we've been working for the heroes, in the art we have that the kaijus are kind of like the thing I'm really waiting for. But I know the heroes will be great also.
Yeah.
So there's another question by Arthur Jimenez.
Yeah, he says, do you guys already have a timeline for when you will be moving to other ecosystems? Probably you already mentioned it in previous AMA, but I can't recall. Sure thing, Arthur. No, I think we haven't mentioned specific dates, right? But I can give you guys an update of where we are right now. So technologically wise, we've done everything that we need to do ISPOs on Polkadot and Ethereum and Polygon. So the tech is done. It's ready to go. The only thing that we're working still with is closing out details with our relevant partners in each of those ecosystems, right? Because as you know, that's kind of like the best way to reach out to the community is by the companies and teams that are already entrenched there, and they can help you to connect very quickly to a large audience, right? Like most of you here would not know about us if we didn't launch with Meld and Cornucopia's Games and Wi-Fi as partners in the Cardano ecosystem, right? So that's kind of like what we're finalizing there, just conversations with our partners. I can tell you that Polkadot will most likely be the next one, and then probably Polygon and Ethereum will be the last one of the first four that we're building upon. So the ISPO tech is done, and we are in conversations right now with certain partners to do another layer two on Ethereum as well. So that's kind of like the state in which we are. If I had to put it in terms of like software development, for those of you that know, we're kind of like, let's say, like in a private beta, right? Like the tech is ready to go, but we still need to test a few things and close out certain deals with our key partners.
And that connects to other of the questions that we had. Not in here, not here. Please make your questions here. But is the roadmap of deployment on Discord and the other texts? If you have like idea on times or when can we do the
what?
Where are we gonna be able to use Discord with all of this? With the pre-mint, you mean?
Yeah, no, I can't give you a date right now. I can tell you that it's probably the next priority in terms of development.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I understand. There's no time. It's just a question that it usually comes. And another thing I wanna say, please read the documentation. Documentation is pretty clear. We have also videos explaining how to pre-mint your pass to get the 5%. But one of the thing is it is on the written document in the blog post. Use your stake wallet. If you didn't use it, Carlos just mentioned there's gonna be an opportunity to assign a bonus wallet to the pass. So I was just making clarification on that, Carlos, because I see it coming and coming and coming once, like every time. So just needed to make that clarification. So do we have more questions here, or do we move on to next topic? And
next topic, because I don't.
While we get more questions,
I don't see more questions, so let's do the next topic.
Okay, so one of the things I want to do is yesterday when we were the launching and everything, there are community members that really jumped on and helped others, and I want to give a shout out especially to Braz and to Damien, who were helping everyone, were answering questions. They read all the documentation. They knew the dynamics. They were amazing. They were great.
Yeah, Brass has been great. Yeah, Brass has been great. I haven't, unfortunately, I wasn't monitoring Discord that much, so I believe I don't know who Damien is, but I know Brass, and yeah, great work on his side.
Yeah, that's what it is all about. Hey, and guess who just jumped in here with us? And you see, my microphone seems to be
Yeah, the rabbit.
going down again.
Yeah, you're having issues with your audio.
Again, why does it like it comes up like after a few minutes? Let me fix it. I'll be back. Rabbit is here.
Yep. Rabbit, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm here, friends.
Okay,
How's it going this morning?
Well, Alejo is doing his tech support there with his microphone. There's some. Let's take this time to do the announcement of the special guest that we'll have on Thursday. So the Twitter Space on Thursday will not be at the same time. It's 2 hours ahead, right, from our usual time. It's 9 a.m. Pacific, in case somebody needs to search that out. But basically, we're going to have a special guest, one friend that I made when I was working at IOHK. His name is Dor Garbash. He's the former manager, or I think it was product manager, his official title per se. But essentially, he was the one leading the Catalyst Fund at IOHK back in the day when I was there. So we will be discussing ecosystem growth, ecosystem development. That's basically his thing, his specialty. He has both a lot of things to contribute to us, as well as a lot of curiosity in terms of how we are addressing ecosystem development and ecosystem growth within DEGA, right? So make sure to book that in your calendar. Don't miss out on that. Dor is one of the nicest, coolest persons that I ever had the pleasure of working with. And again, as a former Catalyst Fund manager, I'm sure that the community would have a good amount of things to learn from him and questions as well. I know that for sure Rabbit is going to enjoy that conversation.
No, this one's gonna be great. I had no idea that you even knew him. So I'm very, very excited. I get to hopefully it doesn't delve too much into the technical mindset that I like to have around all these sorts of all of funding and funds and operations and all that kind of stuff. But I'm really looking forward to that conversation for sure.
Yep. Yeah, back then when I don't know, I haven't checked right now how much it is, but when he was managing it, it was over $1 billion, right? So this is a person that was leading an ecosystem fund worth over $1 billion.
Oh yeah, he's not small potatoes. I mean, he's the real deal.
Yep. Yeah, and since then I know he's been working with other protocols. I won't delve into that. Like I'll let him, share the good stuff with us in that conversation. But make sure to bookmark this, everybody, and to invite everybody else that you think would enjoy such a conversation, right? So, again, we're going to have Dor Garbage, former manager of the Catalyst Fund, as guest next Thursday, in 2 days, right? So this Thursday, and it's going to be 2 hours later, right? The Twitter space is going to be 2 hours later. So it's like 9 a.m. Pacific, and we'll be discussing ecosystem growth, ecosystem management, and development.
So I'm sorry, my Twitter completely.
Sorry? Your Twitter what?
My personal Twitter failed completely, so I gotta do it through this account. So, but I'm here. I'm here listening while I try to solve my personal.
Just use that account. Let's keep moving forward with the next points.
Okay, perfect. If you can hear me well from here, I'll continue here, and I won't bother on the other end.
Yeah, keep going, brother. You're good.
Let's go.
Okay, so I think the invitation we did the invitation for Thursday is gonna be a great conversation. One thing is 2 hours later. It's not gonna be at 2 p.m. UTC. It's gonna be at 4 p.m. UTC. So tomorrow we don't have a space. We have a commitment at the same hour. So tomorrow there won't be an AMA, a live AMA, and on Thursday we'll have it 2 hours later. So it will be at 4 p.m. UTC. All the announcements will be available for everyone. So you don't get lost and you don't get like stay waiting for things to start and they won't start. So
yep.
We're I just wanted to say, Carlos, that we are in 15.9 million right now.
Come on, everybody.
I hope we can cross the 16 million mark.
yeah, we're gonna cross it soon.
Yeah, I hope it's live. I hope it's live. So no, I think that covers all the topics. And one of the things is, do you foresee like the tribal like initiative like growing even more? I know it's growing. You have new tribes in DEGA right now, but that's part of our core. You want to talk a little bit about it, and how do you foresee that it's gonna gain strength in the DEGA ecosystem?
Yeah, so from a high level, I'll do the high level and then I'll let you go into more details because actually you're the tribe manager there. But from a high level perspective, everything we do in DECA is about connecting you with other people. As we mentioned in this space and in many other conversations, right? It's all about network effects, right? It's all about you projecting yourself to the world. A human is not smart, right? A human is not intelligent. A human is not powerful. It's when we come together that we can create wonderful things, right? Everything from the doorknob that you have, like that, making that doorknob involves literally thousands of people, right? Everybody from the people that are minding the material, the engineers, the designers, the artists that give it a little extra touch, the people that install it in your house. It's something, a toaster, right? Requires thousands of people to work on it to make it happen, right? So a lot of people discuss about, in theory about hive intelligence. I'm like, we are already a hive intelligence, right? It's just that it's at a higher level, that it's kind of like not perceivable by the parts that compose it. So that's why in DEGA we definitely wanted to launch tribes as a core component of our, let's say, network effects, right? So there's technology, and then there's people, right? The technology is all about the layer twos, protocols. The people are all about the tribes, about onboarding and helping each other out. And that's basically what the reason why it exists, right? Now, what does that mean from a practical sense, like an everyday? Because I'm talking about systems, right? And what does that mean every day in our Discord? I'll let you handle that, Freak, and maybe Rabbit also wants to chime in on that.
Rabbit, do you want to say something before I jump?
No, you go ahead, Freak.
Okay, so one of the things I really like about this whole tribal exercise is that it goes beyond community. Community, yes, we're all together, we're all commenting, but tribal goes to a deep survival feeling. So with the tribe, you connect in a because you share values, you share dreams, you share purpose, but it's also about bringing value to others and increasing the value of that tribe and living off and benefit from that value that we all created. So for me, tribal is the next step after building a strong community, is building a strong tribe. And part of the tribe is building, how do you say, the tribal economy where everyone can thrive. So it's more about thrive tribes and be able to grow them, create them, or join them. And it also is a very human, how do you say, it's a very humanistic need. It's like we all humans need to belong. They just did a study in Colombia about depression and anxiety and mental health problems, and you would think that the main issue for people living through those moments were money or like tough times and stuff like that, and it wasn't. The main reason people was depressed and living in anxiety is because they felt like they don't belong. And that's a problem of the physical world. And right now we're living and we're creating this liquid reality where we can interact and find our tribe wherever it is in the world. It doesn't matter. Like for me, it's like I'm always be freaky. I never belong to my neighborhood. I never belong to my school. I never belong to my city. But then in the digital world, I found my tribe, where I can be, where I can like be myself. And people either like it or hate it, but I found people that I connect deeply with it and I've never even seen. So that's what tribes, and that's why we're building this concept of tribes. So in order, and now going to the practical way of building and doing it, in our Discord, we have right now, I think, 13 tribes that are growing really fast. There are different type of tribes. There are some tribes that are location based because they all live in the same hometown or in the same country, or they speak the same language. But we also have gaming tribes. We have tribes that come from a project. We have tribes that come from a protocol. So there's different reasons to connect. But now in the Discord, you can go to pick your tribe, check out every tribe there is, and there's a command to join like the tribe you like the most, or you can chat in general and ask the tribe leaders, why should I join your tribe? Or if you have a guild, if you have a clan, if you have a big group of friends or following, you can also create your tribe. It's easy, just DM me and we will work on creating your own tribe. And right now, tribes are growing really, really fast. They're bringing a lot of members. So I think is the way to go. I'm there to help you build it, to help you. How do you say? How?
create strong bases, because it's not only about creating a channel and a role and a command, it's also creating a strategy, like sharing those values and what it means, and how do you are you going to connect. And the most important thing is creating your own rituals. Rituals are what bring people together, and we as DEGA are going to be supporting all those rituals. And then when I talk rituals, it's as simple as how do you welcome people, how do you celebrate birthdays, or tournaments, invite madness, and all those things that define your tribe. Sorry, Rabbit, I thought I think you were going to say something.
I was. I just wanted to like ground it for everyone and kind of like talk about, what's the practicality of having a tribe. It's like you'll see, like for instance, we're going to be doing a DEGA battle bot tournament. One of our bot that you're buying the premium pass from, it also has multiple other functions, and one of its functions is to be able to fight other tribes, fight other people, for fun, obviously. But each one of these activities that we do within our ecosystem can be tribal or individual. Like if you want to, we're building a bunch of we're actually building a bunch of different types of things that you can do within our ecosystem that will earn you data. It's not just about delegating. It's not just about having an NFT. It's about, well, how do we get the message out there about data more? Well, we don't, if we want to take on like a contest or something like that, we can have it done at the tribal level so that your group, if there's a tribal prize, the prize is going to be much bigger. If it's an individual contest, it's going to be smaller. So it's like, you can take a bag of data home to your tribe, and then you in your tribe will be able to use those resources like you would if you were hunter gatherers. If you want to build something on data, or you want to go and spread whatever you want to spread to wherever, we want to be able to give you the opportunity to be able to do that.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Guys,
and
one thing is we're closing up on the hour and I have another call sharp. So on my side, I'm going
As
to
do
have to
I.
be dropping. Freak, thank you very much. A pleasure as always. Everybody, thank you for joining us. Remember, tomorrow there will be no Twitter Space, and then on Thursday, Twitter Space is 2 hours later, which is 9 a.m. Pacific. We'll be having Dorgar Bash as a guest, ex-manager of the Catalyst Fund, a multi-billion-dollar Cardano fund that we met when I was in IOHK. So do join us for that conversation. Do invite other friends to join us there. We'll be talking about ecosystem development and looking forward to seeing you all again. Have a great day.
thank
Do we
you,
have any more?
Rabbit. Thank you,
Do we
Pat.
have any more questions from the audience?
No, sir. We don't have any more questions in here, and I think you spoke really well about everything. So we can call it a day. I also have to jump.
Okay, well, you all know, you see me on Discord quite a bit and Telegram quite a bit. I look forward to talking to you there. And thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today. And we will see you all soon.
Thank you, Rabbit. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I don't have my music to play, but imagine we're playing the outro music of Vega, and it's really fun. And wishing you a great day. So take care. See ya.
Bye now.